everybody, hope you're all well. My name is Luisa and I upload videos all about fashion and beauty. If you haven't subscribed already to this channel, then what are you waiting for? Click that subscribe button down below and join this little YouTube family of ours. I would love to have you here again. Today's video is all about 10 essential items that every woman should carry in her handbag. Without any further ado, let's jump straight into it. Now, the very first item that I think everyone should carry in their handbag is a hand sanitizer. Now, I know this is not revolutionary. I know that probably the majority of you watching this video have one in your handbags all the times with you already, but I thought I should mention it because these are so useful. You never know when you need to wash your hands, go out and eat or grab a snack. These are always handy. I honestly don't leave the house if I don't have one in my handbag. I think these are especially useful for everybody commuting to work. If you take the train or if you rely on the bus or any sort of public transport, then absolutely get one of these. But even if you drive your own private car to work, you honestly never know when you're gonna need one of these. These come in a variety of different scents that you can choose from. I just happen to have the original one, and obviously you guys, as I said, you never know when these will come handy. So I would strongly recommend that every one of us should carry a hand sanitizer in our bags at all times. Item number 2 is a pack of tissues. Now, I remember my mom having a pack of tissues in her handbag when I was little, and I always find it quite a bizarre item to have with you at all times, especially when you're not sick. Okay, when you have a runny nose, I understand, okay, you need tissues, but why should you carry a packet of these at all times? Well, let me tell you why. These come handy all the time. So for me personally, I have a toddler and my daughter spills things constantly, so I need to wipe surfaces down all the time and also wipe her hands. But let me tell you something. Have you ever visited a restroom in a restaurant or in a public space and surprise, surprise, there's no toilet paper? There you go, that's your answer. Even when you are at work, you may spill some coffee. And also, even in the office, sometimes people need tissues and you're always, when they sneeze or whatever, so you're always the one offering to give them a tissue, and that always makes you likable. So yes, I would strongly recommend you guys that you always carry with you a pack of tissues, because simply you never know when you're gonna need one. Item number 3, and I think this applies more for women that work, but any woman could have them really in her handbag, and this is carrying spare tights. Now, if you're working and you wear any kind of tights, or if you are in a suit like a blazer and a skirt and you're wearing ties on a daily basis, always keep a spare one in your handbag, because the amount of times, and this is no joke you guys, the amount of times when I was working that for some reason I ripped my tights and there was a hole in them was ridiculous. And what would I do? I would just, had to leave the office on my lunch break and rush to the nearest place where I could get one and buy one. But why do all this hassle? You can have one in your handbag already and you can just go and change your tights up. I would recommend especially have one that is like clear, because that one matches with the majority of your outfits. But pick one that you would think would match your outfit and your lifestyle most of the time, and just carry one at all times in your handbag. If I'm honest, I don't carry one right now because A, I don't work, and B, I don't tend to wear stockings. But when I was working, a spare change of these was constantly in my handbag. Next up is a safety pin. Now, one may wonder, why on earth should one carry a safety pin in her handbag? Well, I'll tell you why. Accidents do happen, you guys. Zips do break, and you don't want to be that girl with a broken zip and the trousers or her skirt coming down all the time. The amount of times that you can pin things in, or even if you wear trousers and it's a little bit too big, or the button may pop out, or your zip may break, you always need a safety pin. It's called a safety pin for a reason. So do yourself a favor and carry one of these in your catch-all or in your handbag, and remember me when the next accident happens and you carry one of these and you say, oh yeah, that is so life-changing. So ever since I started carrying one of these, I feel so much more relaxed, because I know that if, you know, even sometimes my husband's zipper breaks and I'm like, would you like a safety pin? Here you go, honey. And he always thanks me for it. So seriously, you guys, these cost like nothing. Just remember to carry one with you and your life will change forever. Remember that. Moving on, I have a hair elastic or a clear elastic. Again, these are very, very useful. Again, this is not a revolutionary item. I'm sure most of you carry one in your purse anyway, but these are so useful because you can put your hair up. But not only, sometimes, again, you can use these for all various reasons. You can even use them to close packets of food or tie something up. When I'm out with my daughter, she has snacks, but she will hardly ever finish the whole packet of snack. So I will use sometimes these to just seal the bag of the snack, or sometimes when you want to have your sleeves up and the sleeves of the jumper you're wearing are too wide and they keep falling off, just put an elastic, a hair elastic here on the crook of your arm and it will keep your sleeves up. Seriously, you guys, there are countless ways of how you can use a hair elastic that, you know, sky is the limit for sure. Just keep one in your handbag at all times. Okay. How many times have you left the house in a rush trying to reach your destination, whether you're traveling to work or whether you're doing the school run and you're trying to make it to school on time, or you're just rushing to get the train and then you just get there and you realize, oh no, I'm running out of battery. How many times that has happened? I'll tell you how many. Too many to count. So always have with you an extra phone charger. These are heavy, okay, I'll give you that. Some of them tend to be quite heavy, but you always need them. And my opinion is always have that one, even if you are on a plane, you know, when you're in the airport, when you're commuting and you're stuck on a train or in the tube forever, just have one of these, because the amount of times I'm, you know, driving and I have the GPS on and then half the way I realize, oh, my battery won't last, what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna get to my destination. Here is the answer. I would say just try and invest in a good one that will give you quite a few charges. I think this one provides up to 6 charges of my phone. Obviously, if you charge something bigger like an iPad or a tablet, that will, you know, reduce how many times you can charge your item. But I didn't invest in one when they first came out, and then all my friends had one and they were saying, why are you not getting one of these? So I decided to buy one, and honestly guys, it changed my life. The next item that I think everyone should carry in her handbag is a spare toothbrush and a toothpaste. Like I have one right here. You can even use a travel size toothbrush and a travel size toothpaste, whatever works for you better. And I always carry one in my catch-all or just, you know, throw it in my bag, because again, you're out. You never know when you'll need to refresh your breath. And I know some people will say, well, I'm not gonna brush my teeth on a public toilet. I get you. Sometimes I don't want to do that. But believe me when I say that sometimes you just cannot avoid it. Brushing your teeth is necessary and refreshing your breath. And many of you would say, but I always carry gum with me or a breath freshener in my bag. But let me tell you, it's not the same. It's good, you know, mouth hygienic to always remember to brush your teeth when you have like a proper meal out. And I always carry one with me because again, you never know when you're gonna use one of these. Okay, you guys, now I promise you, I never ever leave the house without the next item. And I'm talking about sanitary pads. Now, this is quite an obvious thing, but I'm surprised by the times I'm in a toilet, either at work or at public toilet, and a woman would say, oh, do you have a spare pad? So that means the majority of us do not carry these around. You know, if you are someone that has a very irregular cycle, then good for you. I am lucky like this. I do have a very, you know, regular cycle, so I know the exact date that my period will come. But most of us don't have a regular cycle, you guys. What do you do? Well, how can you leave the house without carrying one of these? And you know, even when you think you know when your next period is gonna come, let me tell you that nature has its own way, and you know, you'll be surprised. And it always happens to be in the most inconvenient place. When you are at work, when you have an important meeting to attend, when you are driving and you just stopped in services, and then you realize, oh God, you know, I have to rush to the nearest drugstore, pharmacy to buy one of these. Why bother? Just keep one at all times in your handbag and be the nice friend that can always give one to your friend when it's needed. The next item that I recommend that every woman should carry in her handbag is a bag for life. Now, I understand that these don't look very nice. I understand that sometimes they don't fit in all kinds of handbags, but believe me, there are numerous ones that you can buy and they fold and they become little tiny ones so they can fit 90% of your handbags. So I just happen to carry just a normal bag for life, and I try to remember to always keep it in my handbag, because you're returning back from work or you want to have a snack and you pop into your local grocery store and you'll buy something and they will ask you at the till, would you like a bag? And I always want to say no, but if it's more than 2 things, I don't want to carry them in my hands. So I always end up buying one even though I don't want to. So I figure out that when I keep one at my handbag at all times, it's much easier for me, A, not to pay for an extra plastic bag, and B, don't buy one because it's not good for the environment and you end up having lots of plastic bag in your house that eventually you end up throwing away, and it's just such a waste of plastic that is not unnecessary. Now, the last item that I think every woman should carry in her handbag is a notebook like this one or any kind of notebook, because you never know when you're gonna need to write something down. And I'm not just saying about like phone number or some sort of address or details, but you know, you may have a thought, you may have a great idea all of a sudden and you say, oh, I wish I could write it somewhere down. I know many of you are gonna scream through your screens right now and say, but you can write things down on your phone. Yes, but it's not the same. I always like to, especially when I have an idea, I always like to write things down, and I always find it's so much more convenient to write things down on actual paper rather than make notes on your phone. And I always feel like if I wanted to make any adjustments or improvements to my notes, I can just cross things out and rewrite on top of them, and it's so much more convenient and so much faster to do it with a pen and paper rather than taking out your phone and start typing notes there. That is everything from me, you guys. These were my 10 items that I think every woman should carry in her handbag. Let me know in the comments down below which is your #1 item that you cannot leave the house without. Is it something I've covered already, or is it something that I completely missed? I'm really curious to find out. So that is everything from me, you guys. Hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a good old thumbs up, and I'll see you all next week with another video. Bye, you guys.